first Academy Awards ceremony in 1929, non-English films from all over the world used to compete for a nomination in one single category, Best Foreign Film, as all the other Oscars traditionally went to American and sometimes British productions. But in 2019, Netflix Spanish language Roma was nominated for Best Picture. It won for Best Director and, as predicted, Best Foreign Film. In 2020, the first non-English feature won Best Picture, Bong Joon-ho's Korean film Parasite. The Oscars may be just following a much bigger trend in entertainment in the past few years, with non-English language shows becoming international hits, even in markets like the US and the UK, that don't consume a lot of dubbed or subtitled content. The American review website Rotten Tomatoes chose Netflix's first German show Dark as the best Netflix original series among 63 competitors, getting 80% of the 2.5 million votes against English language hits like Mindhunter and The Crown. Latin and much later French were the international languages for diplomacy, the theater and literature. British imperial power put the English language at the center of the world affairs, and right as the empire faded, American dominance reinforced its importance. But it was Hollywood's soft power over the 20th century that made the English language seductive and attractive the world over. Soft power is the ability to get something by persuasion, not coercion or payment. Government need to spend much less money when national culture, ideals and values appeal to the world, generating revenues in tourism, arts and entertainment. In other words, soft power is a smart tool for any nation to reach its worldwide goals instead of opting for threats, guns and wars. Hollywood shaped the preferences of a large number of audiences for English language films and TV shows since the creation of the studios in the 1910s. Other countries took advantage of that, of course. The British Council, established in 1934 and currently presented in over 100 countries, invests in keeping the English language a powerful medium in which the arts, diplomacy, and entertainment, science, and technology are conducted. With a budget of £1.3 billion in 2019 and 2020, the organization views English as a way to communicate culture, allowing the British Council to frame culture and language as a political tool through which soft power can be garnered, strengthening the UK's reputation across the world. But quality entertainment, like Dark, make even a difficult language like German more appealing to a global audience. The second season of Iceland's Trapped was watched by 10 million people in United Kingdom, Germany, France and across Scandinavia. It focuses on a series of mysterious murders in a freezing small town where policemen never fire guns. A cultural shock for audiences accustomed to violence in Hollywood productions. Distribution demand for the Spanish La Casa de Papel soared for its fourth season. From April 3rd to 5th last year, the show was 32 times more in demand than popular English language series like The Walking Dead, Westworld and Game of Thrones. The show not only broke the aversion to foreign language among audiences, but also made popular other forms of expressions instead of repeating well-worn Hollywood formulas. John Doyle writes in the Globe and Mail that La Casa de Papel is a, quote, heist-centric multi-part drama that appends most clichés of heist movies and celebrate others. It is also deliciously melodramatic at times, riffing on the telenovela style of telling one concentrated storyline that has outrageous twists and much passion, unquote. Netflix, which is represented in over 190 countries, has become one of the main producers of foreign language hits. with other shows breaking the English barrier, such as the Turkish The Protector, French Osmosis, Polish The Woods, and South Korea Kingdom. According to Louis Brennan, a professor at Trinity College who researches Netflix international expansions, the success of non-English language shows that can be explained by the natural appeal of local products, together with a tendency toward broader and more diverse tastes of consumers in the 21st century. As John Hazelton writes in Screen Daily, American programs feel a growing appetite for foreign language shows, despite the fact that foreign films are being watched less in the cinemas, suggesting a migration from the big to the smaller screen and streaming. Hazelton quotes the general manager of Sundance TV saying that, quote, "Back in the day, if audience wanted something adventurous, they would go to art houses and see those independent of foreign films. Now, on television, we are providing that adventure in a window into some of the best stories from around the world." Unquote. In the US, the viewership of non-English titles on Netflix increased 50% in 2020 compared with 2019, and the consumption of dubbed films and shows is rising 120% every year, according to some of the very few audience statistics the company shares. Known for exporting its telenovelas for more than 130 countries for the past 30 years, with 100 million daily viewers worldwide, Brazilian TV Globo is aware that the telenovela format may become less relevant as streaming subscriptions soar all over the world. In 2015, the company launched Globoplay, its own streaming service, and in 2020, the Globo released the terror thriller Desalma, with clear intention to overcome the image of a telenovela channel, aiming at international markets. To compete with major players like Netflix and Amazon Prime, Globoplay announced a partnership with Disney Plus, launched in Brazil late November 2019, with 2020, with subscriptions for both streaming services starting at $7. US-based HBO recently announced 6 new local productions for the following years in Brazil, since the country is fast becoming one of the key global streaming markets. Just a few years ago, producers who wanted to reach an international audiences needed to embrace English language soft power, even if that caused cultural distortions in the final product, like Fernando Meirelles' 2008 film Blindness, the English adaptation of the Portuguese book of Nobel Prize winner José Saramago, or Love in the Time of Cholera, directed by Mike Newell, adapted from Gabriel Garcia Marquez' novel with the same name. In both cases, the original language, Portuguese and Spanish respectively, are key elements to the charm and beauty of the novels. The slang, local accents, and neologisms were all the elements that helped both authors win the Nobel Prize for Literature, but were unfortunately partly lost in translation to film. With local artists and producers getting the taste of English soft power, audiences from all over the world can finally enjoy a much broader and immersive experience of other cultures from the comfort of their own homes, and of course, always with good entertainment.